What if I told you that there are epic food stories that often go untold? Join your host, Seth, as he dives into the thrilling world of food challenges and competitive eating, interviewing those who not only take them on, but create them. Buckle up for the heart pounding moments, behind the scenes experiences, and the passion fueling it all. This is Food Challenge News.
Welcome back to the Food Challenge News Podcast. I'm your host, Seth, and today I'm joined by Spice Jesus. Spice Jesus, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm also doing great. Appreciate you asking. So what's been going on in Spice Jesus's world recently? What have you been up to?
Not much, man. Just pretty much grinding content and trying to just make more and more stuff that people want to watch.
And before people knew you as Spice Jesus, what first got you hooked on testing your limits with spicy food?
Yeah, so I have a remote job, right? And I cook for myself pretty much every single day, right? You do that for a couple of years, you pretty much end up repeating the same meals over and over and over again. And I like variety. So, what's one way I could spice up these boring meals? Start adding spice, right? So I started just adding like cayenne pepper to, whatever I would cook. And then I found out that I really like the sensation of being spicy. And so I kind of became like a crackhead for spice and just needed more and more and more to get my fix. Like I said, I started at cayenne powder, then I had to upgrade to like habanero powder and then ghost pepper powder and then Carolina Reaper powder and then eventually graduated into just eating the pepper straight. So, I mean, it's been a pretty fun journey, and I didn't start it with the intention of turning it into content. It just kind of naturally happened that way.
So was there a point where you realized it was more than just trying spicy foods, that there was like an audience who might want to see like this on video?
Yeah, because meanwhile, while I was building up my spice tolerance just for fun, I had already kind of started a cooking page just to like share the stuff I had been cooking. And before I was Spice Jesus, I'm still on the same Instagram account now. You can like scroll down and see all my oldest videos. I was known as Heavy Sandwiches. And I would just make big sandwiches and post the videos. And they didn't really get any views. But I noticed when I started doing like spicy stuff, they would get a lot more engagement. So I just kind of leaned into it. And, now here we are, almost a year later.
What were some of your favorite sandwiches to make?
It all started with the Philly cheesesteak. I love a big, fat Philly cheesesteak with ribeye and cheese and grilled onions. It's just the best thing ever.
Oh, sounds amazing. I love Philly cheesesteaks, but I don't think I've ever had like what people might call an authentic one.
Yeah, so I actually went to Philadelphia and had all the Philly cheesesteaks, and that's actually what got me interested in cooking in the first place, and it's pretty much the reason why I'm doing this all now, because without that, I wouldn't have gotten like super into cooking.
That's really neat. So, how long after you started cooking or just making your own food, spicy, non-spicy, before you started actually putting it on video?
I've been cooking for like 3 or 4 years, like a lot, all the time. Remote job. It's easy to get a ton of reps because I basically cook lunch and dinner for myself every single night. And yeah, within the last year, I just started making videos. And before that, I would just make a sandwich and post it on my story. And so I'd be making like all these big, giant, heaping sandwiches, like, Philly cheesesteaks, cheeseburgers, specifically smash burgers. And then one day someone was like, you should just start a page for all this sandwich stuff. And so I did.
Looking back at your early content compared to what you're making now, what's changed most in how you approach your videos?
Oh, it's so different because in the early days, I really, didn't have much reps making content. So I would just kind of film the entire process of cooking and then just throw all of the raw footage into an editor and just kind of just go through it and chop everything down with no plan. But now that I've been doing this for over a year now, I can go into filming a video and know exactly how I want the video to turn out. And so I can shoot everything with the edit in mind. And I know what needs to be included, what shouldn't be included. And it just makes the whole process much more efficient. Like I like, spicy food and I'm of course a spice fiend, but I think I like producing content even more than spicy food.
So how long did it take for you to get comfortable with like shooting the videos, having a plan for them, editing?
I started to get the hang of it. I don't know, probably around the time I transitioned into being Spice Jesus, which was probably, I don't know, October last year. And it's literally just getting like reps and reps and reps in, and just improving every time, because every time I would post a video, I would get the data back. I would see what worked. I would look at all the analytics. I'm like a super nerd about like all the like algorithm and stuff like that. And then I would just try to get a little better each time. So I don't know if I actually had a moment where I was like, oh, I feel comfortable now. It's just kind of a slope as I got better and better and better as time went on.
Nice, that's cool. Yeah, we've been doing the podcast for 2 years now, and yeah, that's a big part of it, is just improving over time, consistency, all that stuff. So that's cool.
Yeah, and if I look at old videos, at the time, I remember like, oh man, this is the best video ever, right? And then I've gone back, and some of my older content that didn't get much views in the past, I like re-edited it knowing what I know now, and it's just like a night and day difference. Like I watched some of my old content and I'm like, man, what was I thinking?
So let's get into some of your spicy content. Do you remember which of your videos first went viral, and what do you think made it connect in the way it did?
Yeah. So one of my goals when I started building my spice tolerance, and this wasn't like a goal of like to be content, but it was just something I wanted to do. I wanted to get to the level of spice tolerance to where I could walk into any Thai restaurant and get the maximum spice level and then just be fine, right? So my first video that did really well was when I went to a Thai restaurant and then I asked them to give me the maximum spice level, right? And then they brought it out to me. I took a couple bites and then I sent it back to the kitchen and asked for it spicier. And then I ate the whole thing. And it was my first video that did really good. I think it got like 80,000 views, which for me at the time was insane. And that's when Spice Jesus was born, pretty much. I'm like, oh God, I should just keep doing this kind of content.
Yeah, so I've been curious. I'm sure I'm not the only one. How did you come up with the name Spice Jesus then?
Well, if you see me, you know I have really long hair and I look like the European depiction of Jesus. And when I was guys with cool spice names like Jason Capsaicin, the Hot Sauce Boss, Johnny Scoville, I'm like, fuck, they're Spice King. So I'm like, shit, I could be Spice Jesus. I just kind of came up with it. But the hair is the whole reason. And now that I'm Spice Jesus, I can't cut it ever.
So you don't think anyone will ever see you with your haircut ever?
Oh, and I have long hair because I'm a metalhead and I like headbanging to metal. And I've had long hair for like 6 years now.
Well, interestingly enough, I'm also into metal and I've had long hair pretty much since the 6th grade, I think. So yeah, I respect it.
Nice.
So a big part of your content is offering people, and in a lot of cases strangers, the chance to win money if they can handle one of your ultra spicy creations. When I say ultra spicy, I'm not joking.
Yeah.
How did that idea come about, and what's been your favorite reaction so far?
So yeah, this is the Food Challenge podcast, right? So in my location, New Orleans, there's not a lot of like spicy food challenges, right? Now, I would consider myself a food challenger, but I'm not like the type of food challenger to where I can eat like 5 pounds of food, right? My specialty is spice. So like any like reasonable like sized food challenge, I would say my stomach capacity right now maybe like 4 pounds max. So I can't really take anything super volume, but I can take super like crazy spice, right? And there's only like 2-3 spice challenges around me, and luckily they were in like crazy volume, so I was able to complete all of them. And whenever I travel, I'll go hit those spice challenges, of course. But as far as challenges in my area that I'm interested in, there's like none, right? So I figure I have this platform. I got to start making my own spicy challenges and using it for content, and they're my favorite videos to make.
Some of your videos, you're actually inside restaurant kitchens creating some of the world's hottest dishes. So how does that collaboration come about? Like, do they contact you? Do you contact them? Do you know people that own a restaurant?
Yeah, it's pretty much mainly people reach out to me. And the way the relationship goes, the first one I ever did, somebody just commented on this guy's pop-up that's local in the city and just said, hey, you and Spice Jesus should collab. And then I was like, okay, bet. And then that guy was like, bet. And then so, yeah, I did it. And I've repeated that same format with a couple other pop-ups, and sometimes the relationship comes about when I just go to a restaurant and make a video for them, and then they ask me to come back and then make a spicier challenge for them. So I don't know if you saw my most recent video, the Thai food, but yeah, so I went and did a video just reviewing their spiciest dish, and then they asked me to come back. So that's really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. And how do you like doing the reviews as opposed to like at-home challenges as well?
Whenever I'm cooking or like at a restaurant, they kind of perform similarly, but I just love going to the restaurants, and I don't make it like a review because everybody does reviews basically. And I don't know if you've seen this series, but I just go to the Thai restaurant, for example, and I order the spiciest dish. And then more often than not, I end up sending it back because it's kind of like the bit I do. So yeah, I feel like that's what really sets my content apart because not everybody can go and get the spiciest dish and ask for it spicier. So that's kind of my niche.
Yeah, it's really neat. And it's always interesting when you send it back, like you said. Like, nope, I need it hotter.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny.
I did watch one of your videos recently. Eat the world's spiciest noodles, win $300. Looking at it now, it's got almost 200K on Facebook. So how did that one come about, and how exactly do you get people like on the street? Like, do they come up to you? Do you go up to them? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so I just went up to the pop-up, and that's a guy that I've collabed with previously. Previously, we had made the world's spiciest chicken wings, so he wanted me to come back and make a spicy version of one of his signature dishes, which was his Don Don noodles. Shout out Matchbook Kitchen in New Orleans. But so we made the dish, and we made like enough for like 6 portions, right? And it's at this bar. And so I just went up to random people in the bar and asked if they wanted to do the challenge. And the only reason it got up to $300 is because there wasn't a lot of people there. I knew I wanted other people to attempt it, and I just had to figure out what price they were. So the bidding started at like $100 or like $50. And then it got all the way up to like, okay, if you win this challenge, I'll give you $300. And then if you just try, I'll just give you 50 just for trying no matter what. And so I was like, luckily able to find a contestant to take on my challenge. And he didn't win, but enough people saw him attempt that they wanted to attempt now too. So it got the ball rolling.
Oh, so him trying it created like a bit of a buzz.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, like, do you ask them if they want to be on video? I mean, is there a waiver to sign if it's, because it's like insanely spicy stuff, anything like that? Or they're just cool with doing it?
Yeah, for all the videos that you see somebody attempting something, unless they're already like a super close friend of mine, I have a little e-waiver for them to sign.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Before anybody attempts a challenge, I explain everything. They know exactly what they're getting into, and so everything is consensual.
Yeah, I've always been curious about that, not just in your videos, but just videos in general, because like you don't ever see that part. So let's get into this intensely spicy alcoholic drink, which you even made a custom label for, which I find really neat. It looks really brutal, not just the drink, but also the label. So I was really impressed by it. So what pushed you to try that, and how did it go down with people who tried it? Because it wasn't just you.
Yeah, I might start a series where I get more people to take a shot of that. But a brand reached out to me, and they wanted me to try their world's spiciest rum, right? I like to get my drink on every now and then, so I was like, oh, freaking sure. And so I had this company's rum. They're called Pirates Grog. It's actually pretty good. And I tried to chug the entire bottle. And by entire bottle, this is like, it's 4 shots worth. You can't see it right now because we're not on video, but it's only 100 milliliters. So I tried to chug the whole thing, and I was unsuccessful. I spit it back up, and then it got in my eyes. It was a really funny video. And then it's like, damn, I would like to use this more for content. But the thing is, this company is based out of the UK. So 1, it's hard to ship out. And 2, I was hitting it up to try to get like a brand deal, right? For them to just send me the stuff for free to use for content. I'm like, man, instead of waiting on these guys to get back to me, I could just freaking make my own spicy alcohol that's even spicier. So that's what I did. And they still haven't responded me for my collaboration. They sent me the first bottle free, and I did that video for them for free. And then, but now the next one, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need like a little something to pay people to, try your product. And they haven't gotten back to me. So I just made my own.
Where'd you get the label made at?
So yeah, I have my own logo. So then I just put that into the design. And then it was a little chat GPT action, to get everything else. And then I literally just printed it out like with a printer on paper and then cut it out and then just slapped it on.
It looks part of like a production line.
I'm pretty good at using AI and then making it not look too AI, because like I'll make it in the AI and that will get me like 90% of the way there. And then I put it into like image editing software and clean it up.
So can you go into a little bit about what was in it? Because it was kind of an exhaustive list. Like I know there was peppers. You had like a crazy extract that I think was like 9 mil.
5 ghost peppers, 5 Carolina Reapers. I cut them in half, put them in. When you cut them in half, it really, really extracts the capsaicin out a lot quicker. And then I put in some hot honey for flavor, right? Which isn't very spicy. A little red pepper flakes, which also isn't really spicy. But whenever I'm adding like red pepper flakes alongside like these brutal ingredients, and then the red pepper flakes is like 5 Scovilles, I always think it's funny. So whenever I do a recipe, I always make sure to add in something like super fucking weak, and people always comment on it. But yeah, it was the peppers, the hot honey, the pepper flakes, and then, little Reaper and Ghost powder, and then it was that 9.6 million Scoville extract, which I only added a couple drops, and that stuff kind of takes it to the next level, right? Even in a tiny amounts, just a couple drops of that extract, it really, you could just feel it has such a specific burn that like gets on your lips and just stays there. It's really brutal. And I can drink some of this tequila I made casually, but if I'm trying not to gut bomb myself, I can only do like maybe a quarter of a shot at a time, and then it's still fun. But if we go beyond that, half shot maybe. If you do a full shot, which I did on video, you can just like feel it sitting in your stomach for an extended period of time, and it's not fun.
Well, if I remember correctly, you didn't just jump right into it in the video, like when you made it. I think you let it like simmer and sit and stew for like 48 hours, right?
Yeah. Once you add the ingredients, just let it sit for 2 days, and then you strain everything back into the bottle.
So if someone comes over to visit you and they're just chilling and they're like, Spice Jesus, I really just, want to have a few drinks with you, but they haven't seen that video. They don't know you've made something that crazy and you break it out. What's one thing that you might tell them before offering it?
Say your prayers. Or be like, yeah, this is just some regular tequila. Just take a shot. No. Anybody that comes over to my house knows what I do.
So moving over into growing the brand and what's next, as your content grows, do you find yourself thinking more about entertainment value when filming, or is it still mainly about capturing the challenge just as it unfolds?
I mean, it's kind of both, because my only goal is just keep producing better and better content. I don't think I mentioned it, but what I'm kind of trying to create here is to become like the spicy Mr. Beast, right? I like taking all the money that I make from content, and I'm trying to invest it back into like better challenges and just more entertaining content in general. And yeah, it's just fun, and it creates a lot of opportunities for me, and I just want to keep making better and better videos.
Yeah, and you've garnered a following now. I mean, you're at over 130K on Facebook, and you're on TikTok, and then some of your Facebook videos have gotten millions. I mean, I'm looking at one right now, the spiciest ramen in New Orleans, that got 3 million. So what was going through your mind when they really started to gain traction for the spicy stuff?
God, I remember that spicy ramen video was my first ever like super big video. It got over 1 million views on TikTok, and then I remember, God, this is crazy, and it felt so awesome. But now it's like, man, I'm kind of used to like videos going viral, and then whenever that happens, it's cool, but then it's like on to the next, And
are there any creators or spicy food brands you love to collaborate with going forward?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's a bunch of creators I like. I mean, like I might meet up with the hot sauce boss someday. He's never acknowledged me, but Craven Capsaicin Mike Jack Eats Heat. I know you interviewed him. Cool dude. It'd be cool if one day I could meet him. Johnny Scoville. He doesn't live in the States anymore, but he's one of the guys that I used to watch right when I was starting to build my spice tolerance, and I would watch him just eat multiple pods in a row and just be chilling. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. So yeah, there's a lot of people out there that I'd like to collab with.
I gotta ask, have you ever tried the Tube of Terror?
I haven't yet. I haven't tried many spice challenge. I'm mostly trying my own. I need to break out the wallet and freaking buy more stuff. Like the Tube of Terror, the one chip challenge. I've done it before, but I'm actually planning on doing nachos with 10 one chip challenges soon, so that should be freaking brutal.
Well, that sounds really brutal. I mean, it sounds good, but it also sounds brutal at the same time.
I'm gonna make it look like yummy, I've seen a lot of other creators make like spicy concoctions, and it just looks nasty, And I'm talking like a bowl of Takis and we just pour hot sauce on it. I'm going to make like some actually good looking nachos with these 10 one chips. And we'll see how that freaking turns out.
Well, they say you eat with your eyes first, so.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's one thing you want people to take away from your content? Like when they watch Spice Jesus, what do you want them to take away?
I just want people to think that, man, this dude's freaking legit. Or I want them to just be entertained, right? And I want people to know that what I'm doing is authentic. People have been caught faking spice videos in the past. And I want people to know that everything I'm doing is freaking legit, right? And that I would never try to deceive you. If there's something I can't handle, I'm going to show it on camera. There's been things in the past that I've been unable to finish. Like, for example, I couldn't take a whole shot of the freaking spicy rum from that company, or a whole bottle. This is an old video, but I went to a hot pot place and I made the world's spiciest hot pot. Like I literally just brought all my own peppers and stuff. And then I made this big bowl and it was so fucking hot. I probably only ate like 25% of it before being like, man, fuck this. So I just want people to know that I'm genuine. And that I do.
So people have accused you of like faking certain things, like in comments or?
All the time. All the time.
And what's your reaction to that?
It's a little annoying because I go to such great lengths to remain authentic in everything that I do. Whenever somebody calls me out, they're like, oh, he's cutting the videos, I always respond, like, I can send you the full footage if you want to see. And usually they don't DM me, but I literally always have the raw footage if anybody wants me to prove anything.
You have that on hand and you're willing to send it if needed.
Yeah, 100%.
So if we sat down again this time next year, what would you hope has changed or grown for you, both online and with the challenges you're taking on?
This time next year, I would hope I'd quit my job by this point. Or at least be about to quit it and not be relying on it. Because, this is really fun. I like producing content and I like, all the opportunities that it gives me. So this is something that I would like to be able to do full time, and maybe if not Spice Jesus, forever, I would like to be working like in social media, whether it's, it is Spice Jesus or it's just helping, other people grow their own socials.
Well, it's very evident that not only are you passionate about it, but, you just, you have a great time doing it. Even if it looks like you're suffering sometimes, I totally respect it. I know there's a lot of people out there that do as well. So, before we wrap it up, what's one thing you'd like to say to anybody listening?
I just want everybody to know that the best is yet to come, and you should tune in.
You heard it right here on the Food Challenge News Podcast. Spice Jesus, thanks so much for coming on the podcast and chatting with me today.
Hey, thank you, man.
And that concludes our interview with Spice Jesus. We'll have all of Spice Jesus' links in the description below. And thanks for listening, everybody, as always. And we'll see you in the next episode.